Right now, you can make fire in half a second. A lighter, a match, a stove with a single click. You do not think about it. You have never had to think about it. But for most of human history, fire was not a tool. It was a stranger. The real answer to how your ancestors discovered fire is far stranger than they rubbed two sticks together, because for hundreds of thousands of years, they did not make fire at all. They stole it. Picture the world almost 2 million years ago. No cities, no shelters, just small bands of early humans moving across dry grassland in Africa. Lightning splits the sky. It hits a tree. The tree burns. To every other animal on that landscape, this is a catastrophe. Fire means flee. But somewhere, at some point, a group of early humans did something no one had ever done before. They walked toward it instead of away. Why would anyone do that? Anthropologist Richard Wrangham, who spent decades studying the evolutionary role of fire, believes the answer is simple: cooked food. Wrangham argues that once early humans began exposing food to heat, everything about their bodies changed. Cooking breaks down tough fibers and proteins before they ever reach your stomach. That means your body spends far less energy digesting, and energy saved from digestion gets spent somewhere else, on your brain. Wrangham's hypothesis, often called the cooking hypothesis, suggests that fire did not just feed early humans, it rewired them. A raw diet takes hours of chewing and days of digesting. A cooked diet frees up time. Time to think, time to socialize, time to plan. Some researchers believe this shift is part of why the human brain grew so dramatically compared to other primates. But none of that explains how fire went from a terrifying accident to a daily tool.
That part of the story is slower and much stranger. For a very long time, early humans did not know how to start a fire. They only knew how to keep one going. Archaeologist John Gowlett has spent years studying evidence from a site called Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa. Inside that cave, researchers found burned bone fragments and ash dated to roughly 1 million years ago. Not a campfire built for warmth, a fire that was carried inside, tended, and used to cook. Carried. That word matters. Because if you cannot create fire, you can only manage it. That means someone in every group had a job that never ended. Feed the fire. Watch the fire. Never let the fire die. Try to imagine that responsibility. Not owning a lighter in your pocket, owning a living flame that depended entirely on you. If it went out, there was no backup, no spare, just darkness, cold, and the long wait for the next lightning strike. This changes how you should picture early human life. Fire was not convenience. Fire was a relationship, one that had to be maintained generation after generation without a single mistake. So when did humans finally learn to make fire themselves instead of just keeping it alive? Israeli archaeologist Nama Goren Inbar led excavations at a site called Gesher Benot Yaakov on the shore of an ancient lake in what is now Israel. Her team found burned seeds, wood, and flint dated to around 790,000 years ago. The pattern of burning was concentrated, not scattered. That is a strong sign of intentional, controlled fire use, not just captured wildfire. Still, controlled use is not the same as ignition. Even at this site, there is no certain proof anyone could strike a spark on command. The true leap into firemaking, using friction or sparked stone against pyrite, likely came much later. Some estimates place reliable, repeatable fire-starting technology at less than 100,000 years ago. That means for well over 1 million years, humans lived alongside fire without fully controlling its birth. Let that sit for a second.
Modern humans have existed for roughly 300,000 years. For most of that time, and for over 1 million years before it, fire was a gift borrowed from the sky, not a tool invented by hands. Here is the counterintuitive twist. You might assume the hardest part of fire was starting it. It wasn't. The hardest part was trusting it. Trusting a force that could burn down your shelter just as easily as it cooked your meal. Trusting something wild enough to kill you, tame enough to feed you, and powerful enough to reshape your entire species. Early humans did not conquer fire, they negotiated with it. And that negotiation changed everything about how they lived together. A fire needs tending, which means a group needs to gather around it. Gathering around a shared flame at night, after the sun goes down and predators grow bolder, does something to a group of primates. It creates a circle, a center, a place where faces are visible and voices can be heard without shouting. Some researchers believe this nightly gathering helped shape early human storytelling, social bonding, and even language. Not because fire is warm, because fire is shared. Does that sound familiar? It should, because you still do this, not around a burning log, but around a glowing screen. You gather with people, faces lit by a shared light source, attention pulled toward the same flickering center. You tell stories in that circle too, just through a different medium. The campfire evolved. The instinct did not. Think about how you feel near a fire pit, or a candle at dinner, or even just a screen in a dark room with someone beside you. That pull you feel is not random. It is ancient. It is the same nervous system that once depended on a flame to survive the night, still recognizing warmth and light as safety. Your ancestors did not invent fire because they were clever. They survived because they were patient. Patient enough to carry a flame for 1 million years before they ever learned to create one from nothing. So tonight, when you flip a switch and light floods the room without a second thought, remember what that convenience replaced. Not a myth about rubbing sticks together in a moment of genius. A relationship. Fragile, tended, and passed hand to hand for longer than anyone can fully imagine. You can make fire in half a second now. It took your ancestors nearly 2 million years to earn that right.